congratulate some amazing women who are making history this morning. First, after a career of dominating women's tennis and 21 Grand Slam titles, Serena Williams has finally become the world's highest paid female athlete. And of course, other history was made last night.
Really? What? Like what?
I'm going to tell you. And actually, I'm not going to tell you. Let's let her tell you.
Yeah.
Roll tape.
Thanks to you, we've reached a milestone. The first time in our nation's history that a woman will be a major party's nominee.
It is kind of thrilling.
It is. Today I feel it, right?
Yeah. You know, so I'm so happy that we've finally seen it. You know, I'm happy. And so for your generation and generations younger than you, this will be the norm. But for us, it has never happened before for us.
In America.
In
America. Other countries, they've already got the bandwagon.
We're a little behind.
Sometimes we're a little slow to catch on.
Yeah, I know. One of the things that I really liked in her speech, and I know I'm bringing him up before I have to, but I really like what she said when she said, let's make America great again is actually code for let's take America backwards.
Yeah.
And then she just announced all the things that we need to move forward. She knew and she understands people that have my kind of brain.
Yeah.
Of what we need to do to move forward. And that's what this world is about. It's not about always going back. It's about learning from our past, but moving forward. And I think she has the plan to do it. And she gave me such empowerment last night.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad because, you know, people were saying she's not hitting the millennials. They don't get it. But, you know, I think sometimes millennials don't listen with full ear. And well, I think sometimes millennials see something and they've heard something about it, but they don't investigate. Because had they gone into who this woman actually was, you know, you've had time, you've been paying attention.
We weren't a part of her life when a lot of us weren't a part of our life when she was first lady, and we didn't know
here's the thing, she's been around long enough. A lot of y'all have been alive when she was Secretary of State.
This is true.
You know, her resume is huge, huge. Right. You know, so I just feel like sometimes people just toss it off before they actually read the business part, not the chatter, but the business part. That's just me.
But that's hard too, because in our generation, the chatter is what makes news. Yeah, it is the Twitter. It is the problem, and it is the bad things that overshadow the good things in human ways of living.
But the bottom line for young people is that, you know, you have to listen to what they're saying about the future. Her opponent, Donald Trump, he doesn't believe in global warming, for example. You are the generation that will inherit the droughts, the Zika viruses, all the things that will come as a result of climate change. And just that one issue should make you on her side in this election.
Just paying attention so that you can decide, you know, what's real. What you said was so wonderful. It's like she has a plan. She has a plan. We spent 8 months with folks saying, I'm gonna get people. I know who I should hire to do this. No, man, you got to have a plan.
Were you excited, Sarah?
I was excited because I went to a women's college. I think to see that moment, whether you are a Clinton supporter or not, it does not matter. To see a woman declaring that victory was like, I think women everywhere, girls everywhere, should stand up and applaud it, because it was history, and to witness that, I think I'm at a point in my life in an age where I can really appreciate just how long this took.
Yeah.
So,
I don't love playing the women's card, but I think in this moment you have to celebrate what just happened, the fact that she shattered a really, really high, a really, really hard glass ceiling, and you have to give her kudos no matter where you stand.
And it's not just that she's a woman, it's that she's a competent woman with experience, who has a brain.
Knows how to do the job. That's not a favor. You know, she didn't get it because she was cute. You know what I mean? She didn't get this nomination because she was cute. She got it because she's qualified. And that, you know, the fact that we have to keep reminding people tells you a lot of how long it's taken. But, you know, we did it. And so now, but one person, one Democrat who's not, he's not really ready to celebrate Hillary's victory is Bernie Sanders. And so, you know, the question remains. Do you want to ask it collectively, or do you want me to ask it on? Let's do 1, 2, 3 and ask the question. 1, 2, 3. Why aren't you concede?
Come on, Bernie. You know, I'll make it worth your while, Bernie.
For the longest time that it was because he was trying to hold on to this like electrified base that he had really ignited.
He's still doing that.
But But
different
now I'm to the point where I feel like it is like a boxer in a ring. Like only the boxer is still up there, and people are like, should we throw in the towel? Do we let him? You know, I feel like he might be hanging on because he's started to be like, I didn't think I could do this, and it might be getting to him a little.
He's got to bow out gracefully at this point because I think he runs into the danger of becoming a sore loser. Look, he made his point at the DNC, at the convention. He's got a big place at that table where they can really shape policy for the convention. I think that's big, and we've already learned, ABC News has learned, that his staff is going to shrink in half over the next week. So what are you really playing for? You've already got a seat at that big table.
But my question is, why is he staying? Like, I understand he wants to win the superdelegates over and things of that nature, but I mean, I brought it up yesterday, I'm going to bring it up today, and I normally don't like to pull this card, but are you just mad that a woman is running?
No,
I don't think so.
Okay, but why are you still here? Because Hillary did it before and she bowed out. So what is the purpose of Bernie favoring?
Yeah, you know, you have to sort of, let's see it from his point of view, which is, you know, I have this millions of people who have been banking on me, who are now disappointed.
Well, but
I want to stay in there as long as I can to satisfy these people.
But to satisfy your people, you have to have an idea of what to do beyond your running.
Yeah.
Because you always have to have a plan. This is the fetch I have with Trump. Listen, it was great that people got all riled up, but to your point, Hillary left when she knew she needed to. She didn't like leaving.
But she did what she had to do.
For the good of the country. Well, it's about us. It's not about them as individuals.
He'll be gone in a week.
But when Bernie hands this baton off now, if he's holding on for those supporters, he's going to be handing it potentially to Trump. So he has to decide now, is it more in line with my voters, these people I've gotten excited, to hand it to Hillary or to hand it to Trump? Because the longer he hangs on, he's changing who he's handing it to.
Trump is trying to get Bernie voters to come over to his side. Nice try.
Don't forget what that means. You have the paper. Hold it up, please,
well, we're going to talk about the Republicans.
We're going to talk about, but I want to start with
Ryan, who called him a racist and said, yeah, it's the most racist thing he said. But I'm sticking with him. This is the Republican Party at the moment, which really needs to be taken to task. If you say the guy is a racist, plus you're still backing him, you care about your party more than you care about the country.
Yes.
It's a shameful thing. Shameful.
He didn't necessarily call him a racist. Just clarify. He said it was the textbook definition of a racist comment. But listen, this is a critical time.
At least he used the word. Every other Republican, it was the wrong thing to say. I don't agree with it. I don't approve of it.
They said about the
They will
Democrats.
not say the R word.
Yeah,
they won't say it.
This is a critical time. They have the next 2 to 3 weeks. They're saying is a very, very critical time, and people are just. My thing is, he doesn't think he's wrong. He thinks that his comments about this judge have been misconstrued. But how many of us have ever been in a situation where even if we're wrong, just apologize. Yeah. Just be the bigger person. Apologize.
But here's the thing: if you can't apologize in an issue that is this big, what are you going to do if you screw up on the world level? What does that do to the country? Because every bad move you make, as you keep pointing out, I'm trying to go as fast as I can, but you know.
Let's do more when we come back on this.
You know. Well, see, now y'all just took me out my groove. We'll be right back.
They were America's most loved child stars. Now, tomorrow on...
Welcome back. We were just talking about female leaders like Hillary Clinton, but apparently, there are still a couple of men out there who have issues with women running things. Studies seem to find that a lot of men in the workplace who are managed by women don't perform as well as when they're managed by other men. Now, why is that?
Because they hear their mama speaking to them. They can't handle it.
Do you think that would mean respect, though? Because you think about how boys think about their moms. You think
but not after they're grown up already. They still got to take orders.
Some of the people I've met, they're obsessed with their moms.
Mamas, I don't think it's just men, though. I think some women have a hard time working for other women as well, because women, as we know, I mean, we can kind of eat our own. We're not necessarily fair to one another, and we can stab one another in the back. So I think it's not just fair to say that it's just men. I think it's women as well have a hard time working for women.
I don't understand that. It's like, if you watch the way men operate, they help each other. They go to the golf course together. They network together. They give each other a boost. You know, women need to watch that. I remember when I was a comedian coming up.
You are still a comedian.
Well, when I was, but when I was first a comedian. I don't have the same problems anymore. But when I was first coming up, it was like, I watched how the guys did it. They would give each other spots. They would go on the road together. And then if a woman had a job on the road, they said, well, we're going to put you between two guys. Okay. Because you don't want another woman on the thing. Why don't I want another woman? You know, that's what they would tell you.
Is it the men perpetrating this, or because is that why Hillary's having such a hard time and other things that are going on
to the
for her?
point that you brought up earlier.
I don't want it to happen, but I hope that people don't elect a man, whoever and whatever he's saying, just because it's a man, because they can't handle a woman
That's the funny thing. There's never been that issue. Usually men were all there was to elect.
It was the only
you know. And then we got the option and we said, hey, we might elect a black guy. And people said, okay. And then they woke up the next day and went, what happened?
But to your point, they picked him before they picked her.
Well, yeah.
They
Yeah,
picked him
did.
before they picked her.
Which, again, is like a shocker.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this blowback has a lot to do with that. You know, because race is one of those things, and gender are two things that we thought we sort of had some insight on, and then come to discover, you know, if you're not watching, stuff slips back into what it was.
That's right. It would be naive to not really know that there's so much misogyny going on right now in the country, you know, and that she will have a hard she will have a hard time getting elected still, even though she's running against a guy who's completely incompetent.
But if you think about it, like some of the most powerful women on the planet, are they really liked? We actually just released, I think we talked about it yesterday, the top, Forbes released their most powerful women. Angela Merkel, she's known as a heartless villain in Europe. Number two on the list. Number 2 on the list, Hillary struggles to improve her likability. And then number 3 on the list is the U.S. Fed Reserve Chair, Janet Yellen. And I don't think people have a lot of wonderful, glowing things to say about her. It's, why can't powerful women be kind and powerful?
Well, I think the one thing that Joy says that's interesting is she said we don't help our own. And that's important because when you think of the men you watch climb, oftentimes the criticism in the workplace is you see people getting favored above others because it's pulling another man up. Women, the biggest blockades I've run into professionally have been women.
Yeah.
They don't just not help each other. They sometimes go out of their way to stop each other.
That has
so
to
it is
stop.
kind of
That's
eating.
bad. But you know, I want to be clear about something. I want to be clear about something because I was criticized in the last round of this show before I took a hiatus.
Your second coming.
Hiatus. Oh, sorry, a hiatus. Go ahead. That, you know, I didn't back up Sarah Palin, for example, and she's a woman, or Michelle Bachmann. I'm not backing Hillary because she's a woman only. Those women, Sarah Palin, Michelle Bachmann, I thought that they were very retro, that they were going to take the country back, and that they were bad choices as leaders. So I don't think that you just ipso facto, you know, fall in line behind a woman. She has to have the qualifications.
Listen, I 100% believe you should not support someone because they're a woman.
But do you believe it? Because I have to tell you, everybody thought that the only reason Barack got elected was because black people voted for him. All black people didn't vote for Barack.
He had plenty of white vote.
And you know, we don't say, you know, white people just voted for the white guy. For a long time, that's all there was. You know, it's like, so if there's a woman, if she can do the job, I mean, here's what's crazy. She can talk to any one of these leaders in the world. She has talked to them.
She's done it.
And they're not looking at her like she's a Clinton. They're looking at her like she's a leader. And that's what you want. You want somebody who's going to lead the country, not somebody who's going to say, oh, well. You know? And I don't mean to be mocking. I just, you know, I need a leader. No, I don't want to mock him because, you know, he's a human being. But I don't want this country run by somebody who doesn't respect the numerous people that make up the country. There are too many of us to disrespect.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Women, men, old, black, yellow, orange, whatever, spray tan, whatever you are, and justice for you as well. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm sure y'all have heard of this FOMO.
No.
Do you know what FOMO is? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, because none of us had ever heard of it before. FOMO, or fear of missing out. We don't say on what, we just say fear of missing out. It apparently can be crippling for a lot of people, and it's getting more widespread. A post by Time magazine says it can be sparked by unhappiness with your own life and being jealous of the fun you think you see other people having.
It's a little ridiculous. Why is it funny?
Because it's like, if you're freaking out because other people are having fun and you're sitting there looking at this, maybe you should just take your behind out of the door and go have some fun yourself.
Do something. Right. That's the point.
I mean, FOMO?
I have FOMO, but
You have
only
FOMO?
I have talent FOMO. I have talent FOMO.
So you have FOMO.
I have FOMO. I do.
What's the jealousy?
So on Instagram, I follow follow a lot of crafters and a lot of cake makers and design people, and they went to school for that. And I'm going to school. That's why I decided not to have FOMO anymore, because I wanted to have that. I got out of the house.
Yeah.
But just to see the cool designs that they come up with and those ideas, I fear missing out on good ideas on that sense. But other people, like you said, you have to get out and create your own version of FOMO for somebody else.
And what's wrong with your ideas? Why not try your ideas? I'm sure they tried a lot of stuff before they succeeded and then took a picture of it.
Yeah, at least they say you take at least 40 pictures over the course of a month to find the right
Sometimes it's a disorder, though, because, like, everybody might have a little...
Sometimes it's a disorder.
No, I think there's a difference between situational FOMO and, like, self-FOMO that's really there all the time.
Diagnosis?
No, let's say call it jealousy.
Yes,
okay?
that's a better...
So jealousy can be situational. Like, you're not having great sex and somebody else is, and you're like, man, you know? And I'm pissed at that.
You know?
Well, because they tell you.
Yeah, but see, you have to be suspect when someone needs to tell you they're having great sex. Well, you either have great sex and we see it on your face, or you brag about it and I know your husband ain't been home.
That could be. That could be. So, or you see people making out and they're married a long time and they're still getting it on, you know, when you're not. So you could be jealous of that. But that's situational. Some people, and I'm not naming names, are jealous all the time of everything. To the point where if you have, God forbid, you have a disease, they say, how did you get that? You know what I mean?
And they want to. Isn't FOMO just really, I think we all have our insecurities, and I think a moment of truth, we all have moments where we're jealous too, but certain things will amplify that. Maybe not you, but I think certain things will amplify that. I know, like, every time I go to social media, I have to really check myself, because I notice it changes my disposition, and you end up comparing yourself and your life to somebody else's highlight reel. So sometimes it's better for me. I know my weaknesses, those particular areas, and I just don't go there.
FOMO has always been around more situationally. I think social media has given it a platform to play out constantly in our hands. But I think I'm also very aware when I post things that it is a highlight reel, so I try to remember when I look at people that this is the best moments of their time.
But why isn't that awesome? I love to post the awesomest moments. I'm not going to post the moment where I got hit upside the head and I got a big old bruise. Although if I did, I hope you like it.
The thing about it is, though, is that even if you're really jealous of people, it doesn't do any good, because they keep going around having a good time.
It makes you bitter.
And the other thing is, this is one moment. You don't know when they took this picture. You don't know if they, because you look at stuff in magazines, it's staged. Very little is just happens off the cuff. And if you're taking that much time to feel bad, you got other issues. You got other issues.
Depression.
And I'm not putting you down for it, but get off the FOMO. We'll be right back.
So Whoopi had a question.
What pushed you to go after your dreams?
My dad always said, when you're doing what you love, it won't feel like work.
Enjoy.
I was 39.
Welcome back. It's almost lunchtime, so we're going to whet your appetite right now. The CEO of Boston Market, George Michelle, a.k.a. The Big Chicken, is in our audience with some delicious news. George.
Hi.
How are you?
Great.
What's going on right now? Why am I happy?
Well, breaded chicken fillet sandwiches have become so popular. Busy moms and dads have been asking us to add one. So we had our FOMO moment, too. So we decided to develop a really great product made with a panko breading. It's a 5-ounce fillet. It's actually baked, not fried, because we don't have fryers at Boston Market.
That's right. So good. You know, I order from Boston Market 3 times a week.
Good for you.
I love it.
So good.
Right? It's so good. Thank you so much, George. Come back all the time.
Yeah, bring food.
And thanks to Boston Market, members of our audience are going home with $100 Boston Market.
Thank you, G, Big Chick. That's Big Chicken right there. It's the small things you do that people use to judge what kind of person you are, really. Like how often you check your phone, your handshake, how you treat waitstaff at a restaurant. What's a telltale sign for you about how someone treats someone and what it does to their personality?
How about eating in front of people when they have no food?
They obviously haven't tasted this chicken.
How about sharing the meatloaf, Whoopi? Would you share the meatloaf with any of us?
You come over here with your fork and find out.
That is a sign, though. I don't like when people just automatically go on my plate without asking. I don't care if you birthed me, and you know what I'm talking about. I don't care if you're my brother. You gotta ask my food. But I also don't like when people don't look you in the eye when they speak.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. What are you hiding? I need to know.
One of the things that jumped out at me is it says how you treat people in your environment. So not the person you maybe came to interview with or a friend, but the wait staff at a restaurant, the person that maybe
the janitor.
I was gonna say parks your car. We're in New York. There are no valets. I don't drive. But anyone you meet along the way, I think it's very telling how they treat people along the way. Everyone.
Anyone in the service industry. I know that's a big thing that, you know, I want to instill in my children too. You know, I waitressed for a long time, put myself through college. I was even an environmental control engineer, aka a janitor, in college and after college. And so I've been right there, and now I'm here. So I think it's really important, no matter your class, creed, color, anything, you treat people the same. And that's one thing I want to. That's one thing I want to instill in my
You know what else they have on the list? Sorry to interrupt. Handshake. I have a very strong handshake, and also tardiness. Do you know how important it is to be early? And early does not mean the time that was set. It means 30 to 15 minutes before.
What?
Stop being late, because you're keeping my schedule off balance.
That's right.
20 minutes. That's all I give anybody.
20 minutes.
20 minutes and then I leave.
What are you doing that's more important? Maybe you should have rescheduled the time.
Well, how about call? How about call somebody? If you're going to be late, let somebody know so somebody is aware.
And don't do 5 minutes away when you're 30 minutes away. My brother does that all the time.
And then post on Snapchat, I'm in traffic.
Yeah.
What?
How about talking with your mouth full? We'll be right back.
Celebrity guest on set, 2 minutes.
Hello? Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Pick him up next.
The most amazing man that we know, somebody we love, and it's such an honor to have him here. Please welcome the fabulous Lionel Richie.
Every day. What? I could come to work like this every day.
Well,
this is the way to do this. Oh my God.
Come here, you will get it every day. All day long.
Backstage, I am dying laughing. You all are eating and go, yes. Who does that? That's
you know, the crazy. I know that before we start talking about everything else, I know that you knew Muhammad Ali, and you have one of the great stories ever. Please tell.
I love telling this story. It's one of those great memories of my life. Muhammad, of course, was my hero. As a black male in America, he did something that no one else could do. He could talk his walk, and walk his talk, I should say. And on top of that, he was a role model because when he said, I stand for something, he meant it. Okay? Now, aside all that, I'm sitting in my house one afternoon, and I get a phone call. This is the heavyweight champion of the world. Come by my house right now. Click. And I said to myself, I think that was Ali. I think that was, I know the voice, so I called a friend of mine and said, Muhammad Ali called me on the phone. He wants me to come by his house. Do you know where he stays? And he said, yes, he stays in Hancock Park. I said, put me in the car. Let's go over there. So he drove me over. We pull up to the gate. The guy at the gate says, the champ's waiting for you. Okay. So now I pull in, and there at the top of the hill on his lawn is the heavyweight champion of the world. And his first line to me was, you're late. Okay. So now we get in the house, and he's walking around. So he says, you know, do you play piano? Of course I play piano. You know, and I'm thinking to myself, he jams. You know, he's playing with you. And he said, okay, if you can play the piano, play my favorite song, Once, Twice, Three Times a Champion.
Change the words a bit. I love it.
And did you do it? Of course.
Of course I did.
Of course you did.
And from that moment on, it was just a fantasy for me because he sat in that room. I had him for the whole afternoon. And his living room is so funny. He had a horseshoe sofa, and his seat was in front. So you know how he wanted to sit every day. And he told me his entire life story of his struggle and what he had to go through to get to be Muhammad Ali.
Kentucky.
It's a great,
Yes.
great moment.
We want to talk about you. You're a man of many talents. Many talents. And now you're jumping into a brand new arena, the Lionel Richie Home Collection. Can you tell us about it?
Well,
You giving away homes?
baby, if I was giving away homes, I would not be here right now. No, I would be giving something else. No, let me tell you what happened. Creativity is creativity. And I had, as a hobby for years, for many years, I play around with stuff. I'm the guy who, in the hotel rooms, I would always go, that cup could be better. Or that glass could be better. Or, you know, this. So I would always kind of think of something better to do. Well, I started doing it in my house. A friend of mine came by my house and said, Rich, you should do this on every day. We call it Lionel Richie Home.
Nice.
And I said, Lionel Richie Home. I didn't know it was going to take off like this. It took off. I started designing, and the next thing I know, people are going, we want more of it. And so I'm now a designer.
Renaissance man, you've got a lot going on. I know you're about to launch a world tour on Sunday, and you just finished a Vegas residency. Now, the coolest part here is I hear a lot of fans show up as the 80s Lionel.
You have no idea. My fans are now, it's the Rocky Horror Show, Lionel Richie Show. They show up dressed like Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I look in the audience and the Lionels are out there.
Well, we actually have a little more before, because I want to hear more about this. We got, Raven, are you here? You have some more questions for him, right?
Wait. I want my friends in Atlanta to see this.
I mean,
Raven,
I can't. Hi.
Raven, that is the most fierce mustache I've ever seen in my life.
Sweetheart, I manscape every day.
Yeah, yes, you do.
I manscape every day.
That is hilarious.
Well, you know,
But that's how they look. I'm serious. I get the afros. By the way, you look really cute. I was going to say that.
That's what she's supposed to look like, okay?
That's what my daddy looked like. I'm not going to get into
Oh,
that.
don't get that. Not on television.
I have three.
On the phone.
Oh, my God. Don't play off. You know, I knew this was going to be a setup.
I have a couple questions for you. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Who is your biggest musical inspiration?
Wow. Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder. Yeah, that's good.
Boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
Oh, okay. And what's your favorite song to perform? I'm your
Hello? No, I got you know, that's not right. That's not right. Oh, no. Well, my friends, the time has come to raise the roof and have some fun. Throw away.
Our thanks to the amazing Lionel Richie. I have to sing, so I'm gonna leave y'all play on. Everybody sing, everybody dance. It's gonna take our romance. We're on to party, forever, fiesta. If you want more information about what he's doing, check out website. Yeah, party, forever, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing my song. All night long.
All night.
All night.
All night. All right. For more information on Lionel Richie's Home Collection, you can go to our website.
What just happened?
Well, I just thought we did a little cock to the side.
LionelRichieHome.com. LionelRichieHome.com.
Yes, LionelRichieHome.com, or you can come to us. Listen, it was so great to have you. It's so great to have you all. We want you to have a great day and take a little time to enjoy the view.